Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Vande Guru Nisha Bhakta Nisha Nishavatarakam Tat Prakasham Tat Shakti Krishna Chaitanya Sangyakam Vande Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Sahodito Gaudaye Pushpavanatau Chitrau Sandau Tamunudau Granthera Arambha Kori Mangala Charana Guru Vaishnava Bhagavan Tinira Smarana Tinira Smarana Hoya Vigana Vinashana Anayasa Safal Nijavanchita Purana Ajanulambita Kanakavadato Sankirtanaica Kamalayatakshaw Vishwambaradachavaro Yugadharmapalo Vande Jagatpriyakaro Karunavataro Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschata Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear worshipable devotees, thank you so much for joining. Today is May 6th. We are reading Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila chapter 7, entitled Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in 5 features. So we have read till text number 109, and we were talking yesterday or the day before about the 108 Upanishads, the names of those 108 and the 11 chief Upanishads. And we also discussed that Gauna Artha is to understand the Supreme Lord. But, sorry, Gauna Artha is a Gauna Vrittaya, right? Shankaracharya described the indirect meanings or the Gauna meanings, means secretive or not so direct meanings. But the Mukhya Vritti is Parama Mahatva. That means it's the glory of the ultimate, the Supreme Lord, Shri Krishna. Now, someone may ask a question. Why did Shankaracharya do that? Right? So let's see text number 110, which talks about it. Tahara nahika dosha ishvara agyapan gauna artha korila mukhya. Gauna artha korila mukhya artha achadya. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The Vedic literature is to be considered a source of real knowledge. But if one does not take it as it is, one will be misled. For example, the Bhagavad Gita is an important Vedic literature that has been taught for many years. But because it was commented upon by unscrupulous rascals, people derived no benefit from it. And no one came to the conclusion of Krishna consciousness. Since the purport of the Bhagavad Gita is now being presented as it is, however, within 4 or 5 short years, thousands of people all over the world have become Krishna consciousness. Krishna conscious. Prabhupada is referring to basically the Bhagavad Gita as it is. By reading that, thousands of people became Krishna conscious, and Bhagavad Gita had been there in the past also, but it was not commented by right sources, or it was commented by unscrupulous rascals, so there was no benefit of that. That is the difference between the direct and the indirect explanations of the Vedic literature. Therefore, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Mukhya Vrittya Sai Artha Parama Mahatva. Mahatva. To teach the Vedic literature according to its direct meaning without false commentary is glorious. Without false commentary, the direct meaning as it is, Bhagavad Gita Yatharu. Unfortunately, Sri Shankaracharya, by an order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, compromised between atheism and theism in order to cheat the atheists and bring them to theism. And to do so, he gave up the direct method of Vedic knowledge and tried to present a meaning which is indirect. It is with this purpose that he wrote his Sharirika Bhashya, commentary on the Vedanta Sutra. One should not therefore attribute very much importance to the Sharirika Bhashya. In order to understand the Vedanta philosophy, one must study Srimad Bhagavatam, which begins with the words Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Janmadiyasya Yato Anvayat Itaratascharteshva Abhigyaswarat. I offer my obeisance unto Lord Sri Krishna, the son of Vasudev, who is the supreme, all-pervading personality of Godhead. I meditate upon him, the transcendent reality, who is the primeval cause of all causes, from whom all manifested universes arise, in whom they dwell and by whom they are destroyed. I meditate upon that eternally effulgent Lord, who is directly and indirectly conscious of all manifestations and yet is fully independent. Bhagavatam 1.1.1. Srimad Bhagavatam is the real commentary of the Vedanta Sutra. Very, very important point. Srimad Bhagavatam is the real commentary of the Vedanta Sutra. That's what we read. That's the main limb of Gaudiya Vaishnavism. Main Shastra. Unfortunately, if one is attracted to the Sri Shankaracharya's commentary, Sharirika Bhashya, his spiritual life is doomed because that's impersonalist. One may argue that since Shankaracharya is an incarnation of Lord Shiva, how is it that he cheated people in this way? The answer is that he did so on the order of his master, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So we are not denying this fact that Shankaracharya is the incarnation of Lord Shiva. That's correct. And who is his master? Lord Krishna. So he did that to please his master. And this is the proof in the Padma Purana, in the words of Lord Shiva himself. Mayavadam asad shastram. Actually, this is the verse I was looking for the other day. So, Mayavadam asat shastram prachannam bodhyam uchyate Maiva kalpitam devi kalau brahmana rupina brahmanascha param rupam nirgunam vakshate maya sarvaswam jagatopyasya mohanartham kalau yuge vedante tu mahashastre mayavadam avadikam Mayeva vakshate devi jagatam nasha karanat. So, such a beautiful verse. Lord Shiva is speaking to Parvati Devi. The Devi referred here is his wife, Parvati Devi. The Mayavadi philosophy, Lord Shiva informed his wife Parvati is impious, asat, sat nahi hai. We have to refer to Sat Shastra. This is Asat Shastra, which does not talk about it is not completely truthful. It's not the highest understanding. It is covered Buddhism. Prachannam Bauddham Uchyate. So clearly written before even Shankaracharya appeared. Shankaracharya appeared about maybe 2000 years back. This was written 5000 years back. So it was pre-written. My dear Parvati, in Kali Yuga, I assume, so the Kali Yuga had not started at that time. In Kali Yuga, I assume the form of a Brahmana. Brahmanas chaparam rupam mohanartam kalau yuge. So is and teach this imagined Mayavad philosophy in order to cheat the atheists. So what was the purpose? To bring atheists to close to something, right? I describe the Supreme Personality of Godhead to be without form and without qualities. Nirgunam Rupam. Hmm? So he was describing in this way. Oh, God does not have form, God doesn't have qualities. Similarly, in explaining Vedanta, I describe the same Mayavada philosophy in order to mislead the entire population toward atheism by denying the personal form of the Lord. In the Shiva Puran, the Supreme Personality of Godhead told Lord Shiva, Dvaparado yuge bhutva kalaya manushadishu swagamai kalpitasvam cha janam mad vimukhan kuru. In Kali Yuga, misled the people in general by propounding imaginary meanings for the Vedas to bewilder them. The Supreme Lord is telling to Lord Shiva, is basically giving a task, giving a service for a reason to Lord Shiva. There's more were put, but I guess I'll pause here to cover this point. Just to give some, points here. Okay, so consider a pendulum. Okay, so before Shankaracharya appeared, he about 2500 years back appeared Lord Buddha. So they were, first you can say the pendulum was on the good side, right? People were following scriptures like Vedas, etc. Right? People were following as the Kali Yuga began, about 4,000 years back and stuff. But then gradually Kali Yuga started to, degrade, and then finally there was a point where people were misutilizing Vedas. They were on the name of their caste, they were, mistreating, I am from a higher caste, you're from a lower caste, this, that, and they were eating even, animal flesh on the name of, oh, this is, this puja, that puja. So they were misutilizing the Vedas and causing havoc in the society, right? So they were causing havoc. Then came, so I would say maybe I'll draw this with the red one. So because this was like not in a good way, right? So they were causing havoc here, right? Now, then came Buddha, 2,500 years back, approximately. He said, Shanti, 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 forget all these scriptures, forget, the scriptures. Are these the scriptures which teach killing of people, killing of animals for the tongue? Give up all that. So, atheism, basically. What does atheism say? Ignore scriptures. So, Buddhism is basically atheism, right? Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Now, Buddha also is an incarnation of, in the Dashavatara, also his name is there. But So now this is atheism, Buddhism. But then came Shankaracharya. So he said, now it might be very interesting to know, like Buddhism is not much prevalent in India. It's more in Korea, etc. Like out, like maybe some northeastern states. So that belt, because followers of Shankaracharya completely like removed, or the Buddhism couldn't stay. So because Lord Shiva himself came to give what? Mayavad Asat Shastra Prachannam Bodham Uchate. So it was covered Buddhism. So, it's like you can't move the pendulum from one end to the other completely, right? So he brought it back to the middle. At least they were following scriptures, but what? About 2000 years back, they were following scriptures, but they were following impersonal. Sharirika Bhashya. That God has no qualities, God has no form, but scriptures are important. Vedanta Sutra. You see how this transition is happening? Then came other acharyas who rightly situated the scriptures and explained, who rightly brought the scriptures and explained the personal meaning about 1000 years back, like Ramanujacharya coming, Madhvacharya coming. They came after Shankaracharya and re-established the scriptures in their right understanding. Are you following? The red shows the degradation, the wrong path. And then the green signifies that gradually they brought it to the right way. I mean, you can also say, like, in one way, this was also green because Lord Buddha himself is coming. Like, suddenly, if people are misutilizing and causing havoc, you can't just say, hey, no, whatever they're doing as per scriptures. So first you have to like stop the bad and then, restart. When there is too much virus in the machine, it's time to kind of reset. That's what kind of happened. So Lord Buddha did a reset, right? Okay, forget about these scriptures. These are the ones who are teaching you wrong things. Forget about it. Is this helping? Is this like I made it first time, but I've heard this pendulum example multiple times, but I didn't draw it. But today I dared to draw it.
It's very easy way you explained the transition, and again coming back to the Vedas. Vedas first lost, and then it goes to Lord Buddha. No, do not follow scriptures. Then in coming back to Shankaracharya, and who says follow the Vedanta Sutra, and after that again Ramanujacharya, and then Madhvacharya, they came and re-established.
Yeah, and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu,
continuation.
All these were personal, bhakti acharyas, teaching Sat Shastra in the right way. Very nice. Any other comments here? Is everyone clear? I would like everyone to be able to explain this to your friend, your husband, wife. At least you should have this, because this question comes multiple times in different ways. Why God did this? Why the incarnation of Lord Shiva did that? Why incarnation of Supreme Lord Buddha is doing that? Why are there different religions? Why are there different sampradayas? I mean, why are there different, why Nagababas? What is Mayavadi? What is impersonalism? What is Nirguna? All these questions can be rightly answered if we understand this important topic. This can have tons of sub questions. Any other comments? Yes, Prem Sankirtan Prabhu, you want to add?
Just not add Prabhu, just Lord Buddha, that he said, Nindoshi Jagga Vide Rahasuti Jatam. Shadaya Ridaya Dorshija Poshugatam. So he actually Ninda means criticize. He criticized the Vedu at that point, because at that time Brahmins, they were, by the name of sacrifice, they were killing so many animals. So he said, Nindoshi Jagga Bide Rahasuti Jatam. Sadaya Ridaya Doshija Poshugatam. Because his heart was melting because of the, he was crying inside because of the killing so much. And then that's why he said, give up the Vedas. You don't need to hear Vedas. Give up Bhagavatam and everything. Because if you remember, just beginning of the Koli in Naimisharanya, Srila Sutta Goswami, that was another biggest assembly there. So Bhagavatam was told there. But, and then the other important thing is Madhvacharya first came. Ramanujacharya came after Madhvacharya. Ramanujacharya came after Madhvacharya.
Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing that important Dashavatara Stotra verse. Yes. So, and Prabhuji also mentioned that how, yes. So Madhvacharya came about like 1500 years ago, right? It says 1200. So we are where? Approximately 1500 years back, Prabhuji?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. And then Ramanujacharya came approximately 1000 years back. So we know recently they celebrated 1000th anniversary also, right? That was quite recent. They made a big DT in Hyderabad or Telangana. Somehow it's maybe we'll have to double check the Madhvacharyas. It says 1200. Maybe it's anyways, yeah, so this the Savatara Stotra point is also there, which Prabhuji brought up so nicely. So these are nice verses to know. Now we know if someone asks us a question about Shankaracharya, about Lord himself told, Lord Krishna or Lord Narayana told Shiva to do this. So is everyone clear with this? And then recently Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his followers, Shad Goswamis, who the journey is still, I mean, it's not that now everyone is a personal, like as we are reading this section talks about the impersonalists, right? Right? So still, it's not that everyone is following the personal form of the Lord. There's still a significant, population who are still following impersonalist philosophy. So we have to be careful. Okay. Any other comments?
Prabhu, just one more comment. I just want to re-utter that. You read that. That's very important point Srila Prabhupada mentioned. The Shankaracharya, he gave the Mayavad philosophy because he wanted to bring the atheist to theist, from atheism to theism. That's why he gave that. So if we want to just remember one line, that he just wants to convert the atheism. Atheism means who doesn't believe in God or anything, Vedas. Because Lord Buddha asked to give up the Vedas. And Shankaracharya bring that atheism to theism. Just want to re-utter that.
This is atheism. Here it's theism, right? But not correct. not correct or fully correct, we can say. So Buddha did this part, Shankaracharya brought it back, and then, we can say this is the correct theism or the personalist philosophy. So this is everyone following the 4 steps here? There's basically 4 steps. So from the correct teachings about 3,000 years, 4,000 years back, beginning of Kali Yuga, there was degradation of Brahmana class, all right? And they were, I'll use a different color pen. So that's basically stage 1, right? So the degradation happened from correct theism to incorrect theism on the name of religion, teaching, eating flesh, etc. Then Lord Buddha, from incorrect theism to atheism. Forget about scriptures, ignore all this. This is nonsense. Shanti, shanti, shanti. Then Shankaracharya's role, from atheism to Chanda theism, right? Or again, impersonalism, about 2000 years back. And then step 4, the personalist acharyas, Ramanacharya, Ramanacharya, Madhvacharya, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Shri Goswamis, etc. Re-establish the personal understanding of it. So very, it's a little bit timeline here, some names, some processes. I think it's very important to know. This will really help, because sometimes our kids may ask a question, our friends may ask a question. We should know and be able to explain at least something. Any comments there? The 4 steps and why, how, when, who? Okay, I hope it is not too overwhelming.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, can I repeat
Yes.
one more time? So the discussion what you have so far. So there are 4 stages or steps. First is degradation, which implies incorrect theism of animal killing, and then envy, etc. And then Lord Buddha came, and he changed incorrect theism to atheism. And then the third step, Adi Sankaracharya came, who convert atheism to theism, and but in personal way. And then 4th is Madhvacharya, Ramanujacharya. Those Vaishnavas came and re-established the Sanatana Dharma, right?
Very nice. Very nice. Is everyone also following? Okay. Any questions here? I hope now we have labeled this also. If any of you wants to make it as a project and make it a little bit more refined and stuff, sure kids want to do that, that'll be great. Yes, Ravi Prabhu.
Prabhuji, I have one questions or basically little bit clarification. Shankaracharya whole theory, as we understand when we sit in the class with you guys, that talks about Mayavadi and impersonalism. At the same time, I have also come across, I think from you also, and he also said, no matter whatever you do, unless you take the name of Vasudev, nothing will happen. And he gave some of the sloka also. So how does that make, where will we put that? Because he also emphasized about Bhagavad Gita, about Vasudev and things. He said that Vishnu, Vasudev, Krishna. So I don't recall the exact sloka, but he mentioned that no matter whatever jnana you have, unless you turn into a bhakti yoga, you will not. Your knowledge is basically just like a tinsel of a something like that. It's like दिखावे का चीज है वो. So can I have some clarification on that, please?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you for your thoughtful question. I think in one of the previous sessions we touched upon that. So I believe it was Shankara's mother who asked her, that you are a great preacher, you are this. Now please tell me the essence. And he said, do you really want to know the essence? Bhaj Govindam, Bhaj Govindam, Bhaj Govindam Mood Mathe.
Correct. Yeah, this was the thing. Yes, yes, yes.
So ultimately, he did say, as Prabhupada even quotes Shankaracharya in a positive way also many, many times. Like the whole Gita Mahatmya is also given by that, right? We also quote sometimes Shankaracharya. This verse also comes from Shankaracharya. All the Gita Mahatmya, which is in the introduction of Bhagavad Gita, which Prabhupada has written, is from Shankaracharya. This famous verse. बालस्तावत् क्रीडासक्ता तरुणस्तावत् तरुणीसक्ता वृद्धोस्तावत् चिंतासक्ता परो ब्रह्म न कोपी न सकता. राइट, हिंदी में बोले तो बचपन खेल में खोया, जवानी नींद भर सोया, बुढ़ापा देख कर रोया. Like in the childhood we are busy. बालस्तावत् क्रीडासक्ता, क्रीड़ा में busy in playing. तरुणोस्तावत् तरुणीसक्ता, taruna, boy attached to girl, girl attached to boy in their youth, right? Relationships, marriage, all these things, affairs.
খাবার নিয়েছে
না ও গরম করতে করে দিয়েছে আসছে
वृद्धोस्तावत चिंता सकता, वृद्ध अवस्था में चिंता, पैसों की चिंता, बच्चों की चिंता, पोतों की चिंता, grandchildren, house, mortgage, rent, this, that, retirement, thieves. Paro Brahmana kopi na sakta. So Prabhupada quotes this. So Prabhupada quotes many, many times. Now we have to understand. So Shankaracharya is great devotee, right? So is Buddha too. Buddha is the Supreme Lord. But we have to understand why they came, when they came, what was their main teaching, and what was their like, as we discussed, they mainly they focus on uprooting Buddhism. That was their main focus. He certainly gave many, many personal things also, but the main crux was to uproot Buddhism. And even this verse, which we just said, Bhaj Govindam, Bhaj Govindam, this verse. So even this verse, what people say, oh, Bhaj Govindam, that's for those who have mood mate, those whose intelligence is not good. That's for them. But actually, the actual meaning is that ultimately oh fool, right? Don't waste your life in running here and there. Chant Hari. The rules of grammar will not save you. Now, I just pulled up that bhajan, that it is actually 34 verse bhajan actually in the KK songs. Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam. Nam Smarana Danya Upanyam Nahi Pashyamo Bhavattarane. Right? Oh fool, give up your thirst to amass wealth, devote your mind to the thoughts of the real, be content with what comes through the actions. Right? So many things are mentioned here. This is again, worship Govinda, oh fool, other than the chanting Lord's name, there is no other way to cross life's, there's no other way to cross the life's oceans. This is Shankaracharya speaking. So the point here is that yes, Shankaracharya has given all these things. Yes, we respect him. We are not saying we respect even an ant. So what to speak of incarnation of Lord Shiva? But what we are saying that the circumstantial teaching he gave, and which he himself is saying that they are asat shastra, right? He himself is saying here, if we note ourselves, the Mayavadam, he's saying Lord Shiva himself, asat shastram prachannam bodham uchyate, that we are not accepting. The teachings which are aligned with the Sat Shastra, like Harinam, like Shelter of Lord Govinda, like Bhagavad Gita, etc., that we fully embrace and we quote gladly also. But that teachings which he gave circumstantially to clear up this, to clear up the atheism, that we are not accepting. Does that help?
Yes, Prabhuji, it does. It gives me more clarity. Thank you, Prabhuji.
I'll give us more simple example of this. Prem Sankirtan Prabhu, is a wonderful doctor. A patient comes to him and he says, I smoke 10 cigarettes a day. And Prabhu may say, this is not good for you. It's going to harm you. But he's so attached to 10 cigarettes a day. Okay, Prabhu may say, can you get down to 2 cigarettes, please? Now a healthy person comes who has maybe some cough, some, he'll say, hey, stop cold drink. That's not good for you. Right? Now the same doctor, at one point, to one patient he's saying smoke 2 cigarettes a day. To one patient he's saying stop cold drinks. And to one patient he's saying exercise 1 hour a day. 3 teachings, same doctor. Why? Because the patients are different, the circumstances are different. So now will I say, Dr. Prem Sankirtan, Dr. Prabir Manik said, smoke 2 cigarettes a day, therefore I'm going to follow it. He's a great doctor. He has a lot of good qualification, so I'm going to follow the doctor. That's nonsense, right? That's incorrect. He gave it circumstantially to a specific person based on a specific situation. But what is the highest teaching? He said, exercise 1 hour. Okay, I'm going to follow that.
Yes, Prabhuji, it makes, it's very good. Clarity also, yes. So yeah, different circumstances, different thing was told, what was needed at that time. But also he gave the highest teaching, like unless we do the Govinda bhajan, we are not going to cross the ocean of birth and death.
Yes, and that's the last verse of the Bhagavatam too, right? And that was the last verse of Bhaja Govindam verse also, right? And that's what Krishna says. Having known this, nothing else will remain known to you. In all the other religions, whether you consider Buddhism or Christianity, Jesus Christ said, I have much more to say. You don't have ears to hear. Little did he preach, and he was crucified. So that again shows it was circumstantial, right? He said, same with Muhammad, the Prophet Muhammad. We respect him. He gave circumstantial teachings. Don't have illicit affairs with your mother and sister. Circumstantial teaching based on circumstances. But that's not the highest. But Gita, Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam Pramanamamalam Prema Pumartho Maha Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Matamidam Tatradharana Para. Highest teachings are given. Not because I'm following it, therefore it is highest. No, not like fanaticism. Because Guru Sadhu Shastra teach saying it is highest. Krishna, the Supreme Lord, is saying highest. Therefore it is the highest. All the acharyas are saying it is the highest. Raj Vidya Rajguyam Pavitramidam Uttamam Pratyakshawagamam Dharmyam Susukham Kartum Avyayam. This is the king of all knowledge. Nowhere Krishna says, I have much more to say, but Arjuna, you are not ready. Krishna says, Arjuna, you are very ready. You are my devotee. You are my friend. I'm going to give you the topmost knowledge. Nowhere Krishna says, about don't smoke, don't eat, this or that. Arjuna is a very advanced devotee already. Thank you for your thoughtful question. I hope it's very nice that this discussion is very, very interesting and helpful, I guess. Yes, Prabhu, I think you were about to share.
It does, Prabhuji. Yeah, thank you so much.
Prabhu, I just want to apologize for one wrong information. Actually, Ramanujacharya came after Shankaracharya, and then Madhvacharya came. I apologize.
You see. No worries, Prabhu. It's about 800 years, right? So Madhvacharya came about 800 years. Okay, good. So Ramanujacharya came about 1,000 years, and then 800 years back, and then 500 years back, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and then followed by Sharad Goswamis. Okay, so good. I think this is good discussion, very healthy discussion. So Ramanujacharya, Madhvacharya, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, etc. They all came, and step 4, and now we have to hold this. We have to spread the Bhagavad Gita. Now it's our duty. Now we may say, I'm not an acharya. Well, everyone has their duty to uphold dharma. Otherwise, if we don't share, if we don't read, I mean, things are going wrong. Like, now let's come to present. What is that movie someone made? What that Kashmir, that girls were converted. What's that movie? Kashmir?
Kerala Files, Prabhuji.
Kerala Files. So I have not watched, but this is what I have heard, that because of lack of reading Gita and Bhagavad, people are getting into wrong things. People are getting into wrong, issues, problems, adharma. So now it's our duty to follow the correct path, the Bhagavad path, the personal understanding of the Supreme Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. Otherwise, we will be carried away. Shastra is our Shastra. Shastra cuts down the ignorance. Krishna also says in Bhagavad Gita, through the knowledge, you can cut down this darkness. In the Bhagavatam also is mentioned. So it's very duty to preserve, because and preserve how? His Grace Vishishka Prabhu says, preserve through mass distribution. We read, we hear, we share. That's the best way to preserve something. We read, we hear, we understand, we share, we apply. That's preservation through mass distribution, sharing. Okay, so let's complete the purport, because we are read halfway through. We'll complete this purport, very, very important. So who's going to read from here? Yes, Prem, Sankirtan Prabhu, you want to read?
Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna Prabhu, Hare Krishna devotees, Dandavat Pranam, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur comments that Mukhya Vritti, the direct meaning, is Avidya Vritti, or the meaning that one can understand immediately from the statements of dictionaries. Whereas Gauna Vritti, the indirect meaning, is a meaning that one imagines without consulting the dictionary. For example, one politician has said that Kurukshetra refers to the body. But in the dictionary, there is no such definition. Therefore, this imaginary meaning is Gauna Vritti, whereas the direct meaning found in the dictionary is Mukhya Vritti or Abhidha Vritti. This is the distinction between the two. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu recommends that one understand the Vedic literature in terms of Abhidha Vritti, and the Gauna Vritti he rejects. Sometimes, however, as a matter of necessity, the Vedic literature is described in the terms of Lakshana Vritti or Gauna Vritti. But one should not accept such explanations as permanent truths. The purpose of the discussions in the Upanishads and Vedanta Sutra is to philosophically establish the personal feature of the absolute truth. The impersonalist, however, in order to establish their philosophy, accept these discussions in terms of lakshana vritti or indirect meanings. Thus, instead of being tattvada or in search of the absolute truth, they become mayavad or illusion by the material energy. When Sri Vishnu Swami, one of the four acharyas of the Vaishnava cult, presented his thesis on the subject matter of Shuddha Advaitavad, immediately the Mayavadis took advantage of this philosophy and tried to establish their Advaitavad or Kevala Advaitavad. To defeat this Kevala Advaitavad, Sri Ramanuja Acharya presented his philosophy as Vishishta Advaitavad, and Sri Madhvacharya presented his philosophy of Tattvavad, both of which are stumbling blocks to the Mayavadis because they defeat their philosophy in scrupulous detail. Students of Vedic philosophy know very well how strongly Sri Ramanuja Acharya's Vishishta Advaitavad and Sri Madhvacharya's Tattvavad contest the impersonal Mayavad philosophy. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, however, accepted the direct meaning of the Vedanta philosophy and thus defeated the Mayavada philosophy immediately. He opined in this connection that anyone who follows the principles of the Sharirika Bhashya is doomed. This is confirmed in the Padma Purana, where Lord Shiva tells Parvati, Srinu Devi Prabhakshami Tamoshani Jathakramam Jesham Sravana Matrena Patityam Jnaninam Api Apartham Shruti Vakyanam Dashrayal Loka Garhitam Karma Shurupa Tyajatyam Atracha Pratipadyate Sarva Karma Paribhramshan Naishkarmyam Tatra Chochayate Paratma Jivayor Oikam Mayatra Pratipadyate. My dear wife, here are my explanations of how I have spread ignorance through Mayavad philosophy. Simply by hearing it, even an advanced scholar will fall down. In this philosophy, which is certainly very inauspicious for people in general, I have misrepresented the real meaning of the Vedas and recommended that one give up all activities in order to achieve freedom from karma. In this Mayavad philosophy, I have described the Jivatma and Paramatma to be one and the same. How the Mayavad philosophy was condemned by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his followers is described in Chaitanya Caritamrita Anta Lila, 2nd chapter, verses 94 to 99, where Swarup Damodar Goswami says that anyone who is eager to understand the Mayavad philosophy must be considered insane. This specially applies to a Vaishnava who reads the Sharirika Bhashya and considers himself to be one with God. The Mayavad philosophers have presented their arguments in such attractive, flowery language that hearing Mayavad philosophy may sometimes change the mind of even a Mahabhagavat or very advanced devotees. An actual Vaishnava cannot tolerate any philosophy that claims God and the living being to be one and the same. So here, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, just want to say, him, whatever, like sun is bright, so that is the direct meaning. But if it is Mayavadi philosophy, they will try to say, oh, the sun is not the bright because there is no cloud, that's why. I mean, some kind of other indirect meaning they will try to give. So Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur is saying that Mukhya Vritti or Abhida Vritti, that is the direct meaning, or night is dark. And when there is an indirect meaning, then it is a Gauna Vritti. That's what he mentioned. Srila Prabhupada explained that. And in the Gauna Vritti, usually they are not have any evidence, like no praman there. Usually it's the imaginary thing. That's what Prabhupada is saying here. So Prabhupada is saying that Mahaprabhu wanted us to actually follow the Abhida Vritti or the Mukhya Vritti, not to follow the Gauna Vritti or Lakshana Vritti. So there are 4 words here. One is Mukhya Vritti, it is same as Abhida Vritti. And there is one word there is called Gauna Vritti, or other name is Lakshana Vritti. Then the next part, Prabhupada is explaining Mayavad philosophies, they are Advaitavad, means one. Advaita means one, Dvaita means two. You know, all of us, we kind of like are familiar with this Sanskrit, Hindi, Bengali. All this Advaita, Dvaita, I think it's when in Hindi is also, in Bengali it is present, we use that. So Advaita means one, and that is really, really really very, it will create more problem for a common people like me, because when we think about the Advaita, means we are thinking like we are same as God, Krishna, Lord Krishna. So, but then Srila Ramanujacharya came with Vishishta Advaitavad. He said Advaitavad, but it's the Vishishta. I am not very sure. Maybe Srila Prabhu can highlight, enlighten us. And Madhavacharya came with Tattvad. Tattvad, I understand little that, you know, Tattva. Tattva means we are very insignificant, infinitesimal. And Lord is really infinite, very big. You listen, so that is a Tattva actually, like drop of water and the ocean. So here he gave Tattvad. And just to add, the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came with Ochinta Vedabhed Tattva. When there is Bhed means there is a difference, and Abhed means there is no difference. So difference is, what's the difference? Difference is the size or shape. One drop of water and the ocean, we can understand very clearly. But at the same time, if you look at that chemically, H2O, one drop water is H2O, and ocean water also H2O. But if we take a one drop of ink, that one drop of water will be black. But if we put even like gallons of ink, that ocean is not going to be affected at all. So it's kind of like, in one way, chemically we are same like Satchidananda, but we cannot compare. Krishna is Vibhu, we are Unu. Prabhu, please correct Ed.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for so nicely sharing your thoughts and on this. I think I was pleased to see this. One should not accept such explanations as permanent truth. You remember we just talked about circumstantial truth. So circumstantial truth is not permanent. It's temporary truth. Right? So that's what Prabhupada is mentioning here. Gauna vritti. It's not the ultimate conclusion. Right? It's the indirect meaning. But the direct meaning he gave is which people don't want to follow. Right? And the author himself is saying, Baba, if you read my Shastra, you'll become you'll fall down. Now, Lord Shiva is so compassionate, right? So for the devotees, he's saying, hey, don't read my books, in short. This is not for devotees, right? Oh, my dear wife, I have spread ignorance. Hari bol. Will anyone say like that? Look at the compassion of Lord Shiva. Through Mayavad philosophy, I have spread ignorance. Simply by hearing it, even advanced scholar will fall down. So his purpose was clear. He was given a service and he did that service. So in short, devotees, we have to follow Lord Chaitanya here. What is he saying? Don't hear such Mayavadi. If someone hears, that person is doomed. That means Sarvanash. Whoever follows the principle of Shankaracharya will be doomed. Now, that doesn't mean Shankaracharya is bad, right? He himself is saying, don't follow me. Oh, devotees, follow, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam Mudmate. Take the shelter of holy name, right? So, for an intelligent person, it's as clear as sun. But if someone wants to create complexity, then, we can debate millions of lifetimes, and devotees have no time to debate. So, therefore, those who want to take will take the right path. So two words came here. Ramanujacharya's Vishishta Advaita, and Madhvacharya's Tattvavad philosophy. It's good to know. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Achintya Bheda Bhed Tattva, if someone wants to be more technical. But ultimately, all of them, they kind of pushed it toward the impersonalist understanding of the personal. They reestablished the personal form of Lord and the personal worship of Lord. Any comments, questions, thoughts? We covered one verse, but it was long and detailed with very healthy discussion. Any comments, questions, thoughts in this text 110? Anyone has? Was it overwhelming or too technical? Okay. Holy Mataji, was it okay?
Yes, Prabhuji, I feel like I just have to keep reading few more times in order to get clear idea. This is the first time I'm hearing Sri Chaitanya Caritamrita, so I'm just hearing it, but I feel like more reading will give me more clarification.
Absolutely. The more we read, the clearer it gets. This topic, maybe, I'm hearing or reading maybe 10, 20 times. And every time I read, there is something more to digest, right?
Yes.
That's the beauty of scriptures and the blessings of Kali Yuga. Memory is also short, so that's both help. So thank you. Thank you everyone for your kind association. Any comments before we stop? Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai, Jagat Guru Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Maharaj ki jai.